again, I'm going to use this tool every day to study the Bible and tell you how I interpret the parts of the Bible, because I interpret and understand it both literally and in the spirit. And it's not for those that have already made their mind up to go with the childhood and those what people have told them. It's not about it's not for them. It's for you that seek knowledge and want to know God closer. And we stopped in Genesis, only Genesis 1, and I don't go and take and started to tell you everything from sentence to sentence. I don't do that, because you can read it with your new eyes, and what I give you some basic to how to understand this with the Bible in the spirit way and in a literary way. It's both. And Genesis, I jump to Genesis 1:26. It's a part that people don't understand. I had been in that situation by myself, because I started to study the Bible in 2000, and it was when I go to United States, and I started to go in to churches every day and listen at them, and I was to the Bible studies in churches every day. So I get these things also that people, preacher and other people in the church want you to believe in, and they believe in that because other have believed in that in generations. They follow. They say that to me many times. How did you come to believe in God? Because my mother, she took me to the church, and there I find it. And directly the mother is giving the direction to their child what to believe in, because they go in one church the mother believed in, the parents, seldom parents, but the mother believed in. And they started to get those words, what is in that church talking about, and I know that in churches, God has shown me that in churches they share each other sermons. They send to each other manuscripts, what to say and preach in the church. So it's a copy of the copy of the copy and the copy in the sermon. That God has shown me very early. And now Genesis 1:26. And God say, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and then let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fold of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and every creeping things that creep upon the earth. So everything living, it's should the image of them, of those that already was with God in heaven. They say they should make man as their own image. And that's many people I have heard say, why did God created 2 times the man? They don't understand. Why? And they say, it's only repeating, do these preachers say to people, and they accept it as the truth. But it's not truth. It's not at all. Who am God? God is a spirit. He's not a body. He is only a spirit that you can't see. And you can't touch him. He is only here in the air. So when he say, let us make man in our image, it's not the image that we see. It's the image of the spirit. It's a spirit man that was created first. It says, oh God, confirm it so much now. Yeah, I tell them the truth, God. I tell them that the image, it's a man thing to say, to interpret it as an image. So it's confusing this. It's not, the Bible is not confusing, but the interpretation and how they write it and understand it, because they didn't understand everything that they got in those rules, papers, papyrus. They don't understand because it was in pieces, and they make up their mind by themselves to put it together, those words they could read and then those that they couldn't read. So the man in our image is a spirit. It's nothing that walking around here on earth. And then they say they are going to be ruler over the whole world, our planet. They are not walking. They are the ruler over this planet, invisible, but we can feel them and we can hear them, and we can see some of it, what they are doing with our spirit eyes, and we hear them in the spirit ears. So it's not that God created man twice. And then he say, he created him, male and female, because they have no gender. A spirit have no gender. So this is the first rulers, the first we had to listen to, the first we tried to be. Not someone that is walking and say, I have the words from God. It's you take in from God and the spirits talking also, and then you take it in and forward it to people, not what is in a book, what the spirits are talking to us, and especially today, because we are in the end time, so we have to listen at them and be fruitful. it's not about making babies. And the ruler of fish is the people. They say the fruitful is to not to give birth to a baby literally, is to give birth to the spirit understanding. The spirit understanding in people, that's to be fruitful. It's not the body things, it's up here in the air to create the understanding what I'm doing now. I'm very fruitful just now, and I've been for a long time now, because I have got the spirit understanding for about 1 year ago in May 2015, but it started some years before that, but it was for 1 year ago I really understood that I have this spirit interpretation. And then second time, and the Lord, the Genesis 2 and 7, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostril the breath of life, and man became a living soul. First, and God saw in Genesis 1:31, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were 6th day, and the 7th day he rested. And it was completed. The start, what was the foundation of this earth was already done. And in Genesis 2:7, God started to form the man that's coming from the earth, from the world. First he created the spirit man, and then he created this man, Adam, out from the dust. And the dust and dirt, that means not good. It's not good. That was already error from the beginning, and God knew what he was doing. Everything in the Bible, it says the word dust or dirt is negative words. It's filthy. It's not good. So he did that when he created Adam. And then he wanted to limit Adam. So there was a world around in the paradise. But he wanted to limit, because he wanted to start first foundation of the earth in one spot first, because it was so evil around, and they have been killed if they have going out. And that's what God is saying. You can't eat of this tree, because if you do that, you die. Because what happened when Eve gave Adam this fruit, like an apple, but it's not the apple, but the fruit, and they come to know too much things, because they have to do the basic things. It was the spirits that was ruler over the world have started. But man in a body have to be limited and till it was time for them to do things. But Adam, it's not Eve's fault. It was not her fault, because in the beginning was only Adam. And God told him what he should do and not do. So the fault of Adam was to not tell Eve what God had said, because she was not there when God was talking to Adam. She was not created yet. But the fault was, and that's today in our life, that often the marriage stopped because the man is not talking to his wife. Is no communication between the man and the wife, and that's it's a heritage. It's what we have got from the nature. From Adam is the nature of man, people. And it's often they turn away from each other when they go angry in the marriage, and instead to turn it to each other and talk to each other and explain why they are angry at each other. That's Adam's things we have in our body. We have many things from Adam. The nature is evil. That's what we try to be rid of, the nature in us. And that nature make it so hard for us to be perfect, because we have both. In the creation we got the spirit around us, and then we got the nature of Adam in us that make us do so wrong things, when we should more asking to be in a relationship with the spirits than Adam. Adam is standing in the church preaching wrong things, so he tell you lies, because it was the first contact I have with a pastor in the United States. He was a theology doctor, and we were together, he and I. And the first evening I met him, he wanted me to help him to build an altar in his new church. So I say yes. It was very strange date to go, and first date to go and hammer and build the altar in his church. But I did it, and then when we have done the whole altar, hammered and put wood together, then he wanted to have sex with me. He said, "It is fun to have sex on the altar," he said to me. And I was not so much into God first in the beginning when I was walking in United States, and I had sex with men. But I say to him, that's not right to have sex on the altar. I say to him, I could easily say yes, and I go angry at him. A holy place, it should be a holy place. Why do you have sex in a holy place? And that was the first, I was walking in the United States, and God showed me what's wrong with the church today. So this was one one part of the things that he wanted me to see that was totally wrong, that the preachers, those people that is high up in the church, they fornicate, they have sex because they can do it, because many women is like an idol. He's an idol. I can do everything for you because you are someone in the church. And then they go and give sex. And it's much more than what you see in the church about this. They take advantage of the authority they have in the church. So it's many bad preachers out there. And then they, of course, as they have the devil in them, they also preach to you that the devil wants them to preach. And many times I see this, that I know they are from the devil preacher. They don't want to touch the Bible. They don't want to touch the Bible. They let someone else reading the Bible for them, and then they preach. They give those part in the Bible for someone to read it for them, and then they preach. And that's bad things they take out from the Bible, of course, when they are not from God, that they are from the devil. Of course, they start to tell you lies that they can do from the Bible. Because people are lazy, and people think they follow authority. If they have much of gold and they have special clothes for the church, hat can they have, these things, only because they have something they wear. They trust them and think it's the right thing they say, but that's a lie. And I am not in any religion. I am not in any church, so I'm free. I'm free to tell you the truth. The Spirit of truth is coming to you now. It is what I tell you. I can sometimes I maybe say wrong, but when just now I can tell you that the Spirit of God is here now and confirm what I'm telling, and that make me know when I say right. And when it's, oh, he's on me so much, oof. Oh, yeah, he confirm stronger, or something. Sometimes it's only a small, like I'm here, but then it's a very strong feeling. I don't have it from here. It's inside me. It's in my spine very much, and it starts from here, but it starts from the brain, and then I go down. And then when I get cramp, I get it in the solar plexus. There is, it's the center of the soul, and there is he make me be cramp because he want to speak by himself, and then he talking these words that I don't understand, but the cramp is he's talking, and the Spirit of God is talking to you, your spirit. So it's not for us to understand, but sometimes I ask God to tell me what's about why when I do this with a cramp. So he don't say anything. He give me pictures. I see pictures, and I can tell what's the subject is. Not everything he is telling, because it's the spirit between spirits that he's talking. And Genesis 2:15, and the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. And the Lord God, 16, and the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you mayst freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it, for in the day that you thou eatest, therefore thou shalt surely die. It's what is die? It's not that he died in his body, that the spirit, the image of God, was not with him anymore. He died in his spirit, because it's not our war. It's not our war against evil and good. It's not. We can stop it, bad things that we see, but the spirit war. There is a spirit that is good, and there is a spirit that is evil, and that can't we fight. We have to take it up to God to help us. That's why it's so important. Now, that's why it's so important to have this relationship with God. Not to sit in the church and listen. You have responsible for yourself to educate you, not to only go to the church and listen to the Bible study, to the preaching. You have to study by yourself at home and have a talk with God, and please be into my life. Talk to me, God. In the beginning, when I didn't know, I am total free from the devil to talk to me. He don't talk to me anymore. I know when the last time was, and it's 1 year ago, and maybe 2 years ago. I will check it up. It was when my grandkids was coming to my son, and he got the custody of his 2 small kids, and before that I was not allowed to see my grandkids because of their evil mother stopped me, and I cried to God about it. And then in the crying, I cry so much because of course I wanted to see my only 2 grandkids. And then I heard the voice of the devil. He said, oh God, he's over me so much. He said, the devil said to me, if you bow down and worship me, I will help you to get your kids, he said to me. and I start to laugh. I stopped to crying and I laugh. And I said to the devil, never ever, no one is coming before God, not even my grandkids. God is the first love in my life. So it should be like this, okay, but I never go and bow down for you, I say, and I laugh so much. He really they come out from my body and heart like that. And then after about maybe 3-4 weeks, one morning when I sit at the bed and took on me my clothes, and then suddenly I saw a vision, and it was angels that come down like in a stair, and it was in another room, and it was like a frame, a door was there, and always when it is the upper room is of oak tree, of old oak tree. That's the upper room, show that. This is upper room, the oak tree, old tree, hard, old tree. And I heard God saying, don't let them walk up again. Close the door, he said to me. Close the door so they stay here on earth, he said. So I did that in my mind. I closed the door. And after 2-3 weeks, my son got the custody of his kids, 2 small kids, and I could see them. I could hug them for the first time. So God wanted to hear me. Should she bow down for the devil and get her kids? That was a test, and I didn't do that. He didn't get me, and that's the last time he was talking to me. And I think my son have had him 1.5 years now, so it's not, I'm not talking to. And it must be confirmed clean for what I'm saying to you and for people all over the world that are going to watch this. I have to be clean so the devil can't take my words. And in the beginning in the United States, God said to me that I will give you the words, he said to me. And people say to me, when I should guest preach in the churches, they say, people that was my friend, they say, you can't because you are not so good in English and you don't know the Bible. And they say, you have to prepare you. My best friend, she said, I don't want to go with you to the church because you have not done anything, preparing anything for the church. You have not write up. You have not read the Bible or about what you are going to preach. No, I refuse to go with you. I needed her she had a car. And I say to her, and I tell you that, don't be worried about how to preach. Do it. Because the promise God have given me and you is that if you only open your mouth, I will lay my words on your tongue. He will give us the words. I have no manuscript here. I have not done any preparing more than I prepare God to come down and talk here. It's a lie. It's a lie from the devil to say that we can't preach. And I preach from the Spirit. And God give me the words. First time I did the preaching in the United States, my friend, she was on me so much. She was a musician, so she was playing flute in the church. And she said, you must study the Bible if you should preach in the church. I was invited to the church to preach. You must study the words and write it on papers and these things. She was so much in the whole week talking like that. So I was thinking I should shock her, make something fun. So I did the preparation, because I did some Bible verses, write it on small papers, and then I put it into my Bible. And then when I come to the church, and she was so scared because she had this founder of the church as her idol, and and I was cool, and I went up to the altar, and when I go up to the altar, I turn around the Bible and open it a little, so that all the papers flow out on the floor. Oh no, she's screaming, my friend, and people run and pick up those small pieces, and I say, let it be there. I go up and preach anyway. I don't need that paper, I say to them. It was chaos in the church. It was I have never preached in a white church. It always have been a black church. Always. No, the white people have never accepted me in United States. And I have lived with black people, and I have been in black churches, even those churches that I was not allowed to go in because they were total black people only. And I was singing slave songs together with them. I ask every morning God to lead me to that church that you want me to be in. I say to him, and then it could be those churches that they have not seen a white person, and they don't want a white person to come into the church. But I say to these people that come and meet me in the door and say, you can't be here. Our members don't like a white person to come in here. And I say to them, I must have sins like so they believed me, because I say that. I was asking God this morning to take me to a church that he wants me to be in. So I'm here. I know that you don't want me to be in your church, but that's God's word to me to be here. And this church that was singing slave songs, and they have all those heroes, black heroes all over the wall. The first day I come in there will come someone very high up in this church network. He come in and he heard about me, a white person in the church, and he come and we had Bible study first, and he come and sit with me in a Bible study, and he asked me who I was, and why I was in the church. And I say, God had led me to your church. It's not me. He was only order my step to this church. So I'm here. And then I be the one that had started to do the prayer, the beginning prayer in the Bible study. And no one could say anything when this big man from somewhere else, maybe from another city, come in to see me, who I was, that was in that impossible church for a white person to be. So he accepted me and say that. And then I was in that church for 6 weeks, and the preacher was happy, and he understood we have a connection to each other. When he was preaching, people in the church, they say, the pastor have never preached so much as he did this Sunday. They say, never. I think preaching sometimes in 3-4 hours. You know, black churches have never any limit of the time when the preaching is over. That's a white thing, that they have to go home in a special time. They say always to me, why don't you let the Spirit flow in the church? Why do you limit the Spirit in your church? Let the time take the time. And it was it was also in Kenya. People were waiting for me in 4 hours because we couldn't go to that church because we had no money, and they have to ask people if they can borrow some money for us to go to that church. And I was thinking, it's close and done, that church. But they were waiting for me for 4 hours. 4 hours late, and still the church was there waiting for me to preach. We can't limit the church. That's Catholic and Lutherans things that have poisoned other churches, even free churches, have poisoned that it must be a special limit. You can only, they say to me in those churches, you can only preach for 1 hour. Then people must go home and make it Sunday dinner. And that's not, then you can't expect the Spirit to come into your church. Not a true Spirit can't be there. So don't expect it when you limit the preacher, if you have a guest preacher, because the ordinary preacher, he have already done it. He is used with that and close up. So, and then the Genesis 2:17. So, but of the tree of the knowledge of God and evil you shall not eat of it, for in the day that thou eats, therefore thou shalt surely die. We shall not fight the spirit war. We can't do that. We only have to lift it up to God to do this. His Spirit helper to help us with those things. It always be something else than what I expected when I start this things, the broadcasting, because God, Spirit, loved this tool that we have got in the last time, when in this generation we need that. We can't go out in the world with our body because it's too dangerous to go out there. So we have got the tools. I know because I had the computer 1978. I'm the first generation that had computers, and I was on the internet. I was on internet already 1994, and that was not many people that was on internet in that time. And I started to do websites and put on internet, and there was no program. I have to learn for myself HTML languages. It was only to write it down on a notepad, the websites, but I did it, and I know everything about computers, how to repair them if they go. But I have in my home, I think it's 5-6 computers that working, and I have 4 screens, computer screens. So I'm not worried anymore that I have to repair them, and they are cheap also, computers nowadays. But God have make me study everything in the computer things. I did in United States. I was in A+ certificate for Microsoft. I got it for free. They wanted to level up the area where I was living, so I got to get that education. And it's for a reason. It's for this day. The computer is not an accident. It's something in God's plan. It's, of course, because God, the devil is in the same area as God, always so very close to God. And of course he knows the computer also. That's what the bad things we have on the internet today. Those and the virus that they have created, that's from the devil. And bad things. And people sit and not saying anything on my post. Not saying anything about my broadcasting, because they hide behind those screens. They know they can hide, but this program, the app I have here, it showing up who is watching this, so people can't hide. I see it. Your names is on here. I see it. So you can't hide. As soon as you click on the live broadcasting, I see your name. So like Adam and Eve, you can't hide from God, and God have created this app to make me understand, and I know how many it is after also that have watched this, so the evil can't take it. I see it. It have been the whole time. You know, as told you, I know about computer and internet, and I can look up everything on the internet. Ask me only if you something that is very hard to find for you, because I was there from the beginning when internet started, and I can search for everything. People be so surprised what I can find. I even was going into Microsoft database, and they called me up one day and asked me, why are you in our database? How did you come in? Where was the door? The weakest place, where in the system? I have done that many times. So it's nothing hidden. I know every one of you that is watching this and read my post on Facebook. I know you all, because God has made me know it. And the devil can't isolate me because of that. You don't say anything, but I know you are there, here with me. Listen with your mostly negative ears and eyes, but you are here. So God bless you all, people, my friends and my enemies. I love you all. The enemies help me so much. People, those that try to hide, and as negative, they are very great for me, because when they write bad things to me, I answer it. I be happy, so I can defend God's words for them. So I love you all. You are in my heart. I love you all. God bless you.